Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we will talk about second semester assignments for the subject decision science. And this is for April 2023 cycle. So guys, don't get confused with our regular cycle. As I discussed in all of my videos that there are two cycles. One is the regular cycle and one is the backlog cycle. So in regular cycle, again we are having two cycles. One is the June cycle and one is December cycle. And backlog cycles are for April and September month. For those students who have not able to submit their assignments or exams, or maybe they have not cleared their exams or assignments, those students gave their assignments or exam in the backlog cycle. If I talk about exams and assignments, so it means that they have not cleared that subject. Maybe whatever the reason, you have not scored good marks in assignments or in exams, but yes, if even one of them may occur, then also you will have the option to submit the others, right? And if we talk about the decision science, this is one of the toughest subject. Not one of the, this is the toughest subject out of all the 4 semesters. Whatever your stream is, doesn't matter. So make sure that those who have not able to crack the decision science assignment in the first go, just try to get it done in this attempt, and make sure you just write the answers properly, get the things properly written, be concise, but yes, try to explain most of the stuff as which I am just going to explain in this video. So decision science is a complete numerical based subject. So if you talk about the assignments, all the assignments are numerical ones. So you need to use formulas, you need to draw certain diagrams, you need to calculate certain values. I will explain everything, like how to write the equations, how to write the special characters, how to even draw the diagrams. I will just explain and cover everything in this video. So let's start with our assignment, and it's similar to the other assignments. We are having 3 questions: first, second, third A, and third B. Each question is of 10 marks. The word limit is 1,000 words, but being many students asking that, sir, in decision science, being the questions are numerical ones, so we can't able to write more than 200, 300 words. No, it's not like that. You can easily write 700 to 800 words if you refer to this video. I have explained and mentioned what content needs to be written, so don't think that if only the numerical is being asked in the question, you just simply start solving the equation or using the formula into this. No, this is not the right approach. I will just explain every stuff in this video. So let's start with our decision science assignment. So if we talk about this decision science applicable for April 2023 cycle, we are having 3 questions: first, second, third A and third B, right? So I have not copy pasted this particular complete diagram, this particular charts. And yes, one important thing, many students are asking, sir, how can we just copy paste this into Excel? So it's very simple. Maybe I can just firstly just cover this part. So if you want to go this way, you just simply copy all this stuff and paste wherever you want to paste, right? Suppose if I am pasting it here, so in this case it is easily get pasted. Many a times things may happen that it will not get pasted properly. Like if I talk about any other question, like suppose if I talk copying this stuff, so this is also getting copy paste easily. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, this is also getting copy paste. Many a times students say, okay, sir, and many a times they are not able to copy paste it properly, and all the values are getting into one particular column, right? Into one particular column. So in this case, you can use the option home, and sorry, you can just go to data. You can just type text to columns. Then you can just use any delimiter. Like in most of the cases, you are having space. Just go to next and finish, so all the values will get segregated into different columns. So this is one approach, right, that you can follow. And maybe you can just google out to just if you are not clear that how to just split the values into the different columns. Now coming to our questions, so let's start with our first question. Based on the following data, develop the forecasting model adopt exponential smoothing technique. It's clearly mentioned by considering the following alpha values where alpha equals to zero point 0.2, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.4, zero point 0.8. Write the conclusion after the calculation of errors MAD and MSC only. Forecast FTA foreign tourist arrival for the year 2018. The data shows the foreign tourist arrival in India from 1991 to 2017. Right. So let's see the question first. So if we talk about the question, only the two variables are given. One is the year and second is tourist arrivals where the values are given in millions, right? So we are having 1.68, 2.54 and after that 8.8 and 10.04. So firstly you just need to see that what logic, what needs to be written. So it's pretty much clear in the question. It's mentioned that you need to adopt a exponential smoothing technique. Okay, so let's start what you need to write. So firstly you need to brief about the smoothing techniques. So going to page number 340. So I'm just jumping to page number 340. So firstly, you need to brief. You can't directly jump to the exponential smoothing. Firstly, you need to brief. Okay, what are the smoothing techniques, right? Where we are not having any significant trend or cycles or seasonal effect. Those are known as the smoothing techniques, right? They just need to smoothen out the irregular fluctuation. It's like smoothen anything, right? So firstly, you just need to explain what is smoothing technique. Then you can just write, okay, there are three types of smoothing techniques: name forecasting, averaging models and exponential smoothing. That's fine. After that you need to explain the uh, exponential smoothing technique. So you just need to go to page number 348. So it's mentioned that, okay, what is exponential smoothing, what are the alpha, what is 1 minus alpha, how to just calculate the value. So you can just write all the stuff and mention the formulas as being requested in the question. After that, going to the page number 339. So if we go to the page number 339, so in 339 there are two things which are being asked in the question. What is MAD, which is mean absolute deviation, and the second one is MSE, mean square error, right? So in the question, you need to calculate both these stuff. So it's clearly mentioned that, okay, this is the formula to calculate MAD and MSE, right? Before that, we just need to apply the exponential smoothing technique. So going back to our page number 348. Okay, so if we refer this particular example, is one example given over there, demonstration problem. You can refer to this. This is very much similar to the one which is being asked in the question, just the difference in the values. So year is given, and in the question the tourist values are given, right? After that you just need to draw this value where you just put the different alpha values. Alpha in the question is zero point 0.2, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.8, right? We just need to calculate f is calculation of is already given over there. And what is e is the error. So error is the difference in the actual value and the difference in the calculated value, right? So basically here if you see 1014 1193, so subtracting this minus this will give you minus 179. Similarly 1288, and you can just differentiate 1151, you get 136.8. So similar way you just calculate e for each of the cases. So alpha for this, alpha for this, alpha for this, and alpha for this. So four values you will be calculating. Till now you have calculated. Then it's given how to calculate MAD and MSC. If you are not sure how to calculate, again go back to the page number 339. So if you go to the page number 339, it's given as the actual value, forecasted value, error. So error divided by the sum of all the errors divided by number of forecast will give you MAD. So you just need to calculate again for each alpha value. And MSC is simply the error squares divided by number of forecasts. So you just need to square each value and sum up and divide it by number of forecasts. So this way you will get MAD value, you will get MSC value, right? After that again you need to go back to the 348 and you need to conclude the values that whichever is the best approach. So if you see this, you just need to refer this column where it's each measurement alpha point 0.8 gives the smallest value of error. So obviously we are pretty much aware of this stuff, that where the difference in the actual and the expected value is minimum, we would prefer that particular value. So wherever you get the minimum value, you just need to explain that okay, this will be the minimum value, so we need to go with that alpha value, right? So I think the first question is pretty much clear, that what you need to be written. Yes, one important thing which many students are asking is, sir, how to write alpha values. In the next question you will say how to write sigma, how to write the summation values. So just go to the word document and go to insert. In insert on the top right you are having the different symbols. You can just write this one, you can write sigma, you can write this value, you can write this value, or maybe you are having more symbols, so you can just write the different symbols as per your requirement, and you can just easily just see whichever is the best one which suits for your requirement, right? So this way you can just write all the special formulas. Even if you are not able, just google out mu and just copy paste that value into the word document, it will also work, right? So I think first question is pretty much clear. Going to our next question. Calculate the correlations for the following pairs of variables and write the conclusion. In migration of persons from other states and total MSMEs, in migration of persons and active companies, in migration of persons from other states and 2017 2018 GSDB current prices, total MSMEs and active companies, right? So you just need to calculate the correlation between the different variables. So firstly you need to see that what is being in the question. So if you see in the question, we are having states, okay, we are having total MSMEs, active companies, immigration, and this. So firstly, you just need to calculate this correlation with this, and I think the last one is about the MSME and their active companies, right? So let's see what needs to be written into this. So going to the page number 271. So if you go to the 271 page, it's clearly mentioned what is correlation. It's simply the degree of relationship, or you can say the relatedness between the two variables, right? So first you need to explain about the correlation. You just detail it out. Pearson coefficient, you can also mention this stuff. And after that, you just need to explain what are the different types of correlation. One is a strong correlation, which is strong negative correlation, where the value is very high in terms of negative values. The next is having moderate negative correlation, where values is medium but it's towards the negative side. Then we are having a strong positive correlation, where the values are very high on the positive side. Moderate positive correlation, the values are moderate but the values are positive. And no correlation, it's quite similar to the zero value, or it's very near to the zero. So this is the way. Then after that in the question, it's in the book it's given like day one interest and the future index. So we are calculating the correlation between the index rate and the future index. So the similar way you can just calculate for each of the stuff, right? So considering one as the x and second is y. So x is given, y is given, you need to calculate x square, you need to calculate y square, you need to calculate xy, right? After that you just need to put the formula. In the formula, if you are not sure what is the formula, just go, it is summation of x minus x bar. X bar is simply the average value, and y minus y bar, x minus x bar square, y minus y bar square. Or you can simply use this formula, where summation of xy, because you are calculating xy, summation of x, summation of y divided by n, summation of x square, summation of x ka whole square upon n, multiply by summation of y square minus summation of y ka whole square upon n. N is the total number of variables, right? Total number of values, sorry. So you can just get the value. So every time you just need to change the value of x and y. Initially it will be it will be, if we talk about the question, so initially x will be in migration and y will be this. Sometimes it will be x, it will be y, x y, x y, right? So based on the question, so in migration of person will be x, here it will be y, it will be x y, x y, and x y. So every time put the value, use the formula and calculate the values. And at the end you just mention, okay, this is on a you just mention different types of correlation techniques, different types of, sorry, correlation. So you, whatever the value comes, you just need to mention that it's a positive or negative. If whatever the value is, it a strong one or it's a moderate one, or there's no correlation, right? It's very important to just conclude all this stuff, because values doesn't matter. Thing which matter is the how these things are correlated to each other, which is being asked in the question. Now going to our third question. Two questions are pretty much clear. Going to the third question. Third is having two parts, third A and third B. Third is a smaller one, so not much theory needs to be written, but yes, you need to explain a little bit. Summarize the following data by calculating mean and standard deviation. One of the most easiest thing which you have read in maths or statistics. So you are advisable to use Excel. You can use Excel or any other mode whichever is comfortable to you. So going to the page number 55 and 67. Firstly, we will see what is being given in the question. So in the question, we are having the number of indigenous total cattle and total buffalo, right? So we need to calculate the mean of these, and you need to calculate the standard deviation, right? So if you talk about the mean, so go to the page number 55. So arithmetic mean is the summation of all the values divided by n. So you just need to calculate the in this case it will be a population mean or the sample mean, you are not sure, but yes, you can just consider it as a total cattle, so you can just mention it as a population, right? So you just calculate these stuff. That's pretty much straightforward, that you just sum all the values and divide it by n. And the second stuff comes as the standard deviation. So going to the page number 67. So standard deviation is simply the things how they are vary from their mean value. So the formula is summation of x minus mu ka whole square divided by n. You are already calculated arithmetic mean, you can just put in the values and you can just solve the value of standard deviation. So and maybe you can just give a brief for that what is the actual standard deviation means. So where the 68%, like it's mu plus 1 sigma, 2 sigma and 3 sigma, where 68% of the values lie, where 95% of the values lie, and where 99.7% values lie. I think that will cover almost 500 words, so don't exceed maybe 500, 550 words. That's totally fine, right? Moving to a third B question. In the third B, write about the general pattern. So it's clearly mentioned here you need to specify about the time series component across the given years using an appropriate graph. So here we see how to just draw a graph as well. Right. So firstly we see, okay, these are the different values where different years are given. So if you see there are so many years, let me just quickly copy paste it into the Excel. Maybe I can just, yeah, okay, it's very easy. I'm just copying the values in this way because it would be easy for me to just draw a graph out of it, and this way, right? So I get all the values from 1950 to 2020, right? This way, this is very easy for me to understand. Then I just need to see, okay, firstly we just need to see what needs to be referred from the book. So going to the page number 337. So I'm just going to page number 337. So time series components, you just need to explain, okay, what is time series, what are the various time series component, right? What is trend, what are cycle, what are seasonal effects, what are irregular fluctuations, and maybe you can just refer it with this diagram. Here this is a irregular fluctuation, here there is a cycle which is being going on, here this is the trend which is an upward trend, you can say, and these are the few seasons, or you can say it's the small periods, right? Now you just need to draw a diagram, or you can say a graph using this. So I'm just using first values. So go to insert, and firstly we see any recommendations, no, we just need to go this all charts, go to this line. In line we are having the different ones, whichever you want to choose. This one, this one, this one, I would prefer this one, so I'm just taking this, right? So if you see here the trend, or maybe you can just choose any one of your choice, this one, this one, there are so many options. So if you see, or maybe you can use this one or this one. So here if you see, there are irregular variations. If you see the cyclic trend, if you see the trend, so you just need to explain, okay, what is the trend. Trend is again an upward side, there are irregular variations, so you just need to explain all this stuff with this reference to the different components of the time series: irregular, cyclic, trend, and the seasonal one. So in the seasonals you can just mention there's up spike and the down spike seasonal one. Irregular are maybe sometimes you will find in between, or maybe if I just use this diagram, I'm just editing this one, sorry, I'm just using this one to just prepare a diagram and see how the fluctuation matters. Or you can just quickly going to this, insert, then again going to this, bring this, so here this one. So again, if you see, the trend is quite similar, but there are certain irregular variations. There is nothing but cyclic into this, so you can just refer to the book and just explain about the regular, cyclic, seasonal, and the trend for this question. So I think we have covered all the three questions, and how we can see that how you can just write the things, explain the things, draw the diagrams, and all the stuff. So this is all from my side, and if you have any doubts or still facing any issue related to this assignment or any other assignment, or maybe related to exams, feel free to just connect to me at ngasc.mba@gmail.com. If you like this video, do like, do subscribe, and stay connected for further videos. Thank you so much.